Welcome back, listeners, to another episode of Arts and Crimes. I'm your host, Kelly.
We're not supposed to talk over each other.
Oh no. I'm
We
Brandon.
immediately went off the rails.
Okay. Well, I'm Brandon.
And I'm your temporary guest co-host, Josh.
We are so excited because we have new mics and they're so biz cash fry. They're lapel mics.
Yeah.
So we're like seated on comfortable seats and we're doing this the most casual just to see how that goes.
Brandon sitting on the bone throne all by himself.
Yeah.
It's real sad.
No.
It's all
It's okay. Ian's over there snoring
right.
That's true.
on his little scrap of blanket that you've left for him.
Well, and we're back out
in the
living room.
Yeah, instead of in the
no echo.
Yeah,
Apparently.
Excellent.
the mics are pretty good.
We'll see.
We'll see. If this episode sucks, too bad. This is the permanent forever. I refuse to make changes. All right. How was your guys' week?
Good. Yeah. How was your week, Josh?
It was great.
Okay. Kelly?
Mine was great. Mine was so great that I don't want to think about it. I'm kidding.
Okay.
It's just fine. It was a fine week. We're getting to the last quarter of school, so it's just very stressful. So yeah. I don't have a very good week check.
I mean, for me, like right now, work is pretty hectic because we're going through a software conversion.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Oh, you know.
Josh knows about software conversions.
Well, I know because they switched my billing between, like, I had 2 visits for the same thing, and between them they switched the billing, so I have to go in the one system to pay one bill and the other to pay the other bill, and it's very irritating.
Oh,
for medical stuff?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that might be the Epic. Maybe that's Epic.
Is this a different switch?
Yeah, that was like September last year.
Oh, yeah.
This one, we're changing over our software that we use to manage the inventory. So we're going from PeopleSoft to Workday. And so right now we're in a spot where we just don't have any software. So
we had to writing on clay tablets in cuneiform.
Yep. So like we had to bulk up because for the next few days we won't be able to place any orders. But surgeries haven't stopped.
You got a big backlog of stuff just
in
case.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
So that's going on. And on the way here I got a notification that my scooter parts are out for delivery. So
you can fix your scooter.
Yep. Excited to patch that up and get back to scooting. And I think I've been toying with bringing this up, but I haven't because there was a chance that I was going to use it for Kelly's surprise for her birthday.
Oh.
But I decided to do something else, so
it's okay.
So it's okay. But if you want to experience something a little bit different, it's Jarvis Johnson is a musician.
Jarvis,
what are you laughing over here for?
If you were like, if you want to experience something a little different, and then in my head, I auto-complete it in bed. And then I'd be like, try leaving the socks on. Or something, you know?
What kind of birthday would that be?
It's just a tip. A helpful tip.
You're a monster. Do you though? Though, what kind of a monster sleeps in socks?
I know. Like, I don't understand who
I could never.
Yeah.
Couldn't be me.
Anyway, so Jarvis Johnson, I think that he's only really known for one song, which is Damn.
Now I have to cut it.
I don't know how to say it any other way. That's the name of the song,
You
right?
just say darn.
Darn, but
Yeah.
that's not the name.
Darn, darn,
Yeah.
darn. I said that the other day when we were playing Helldivers.
Oh man, I do love Kelly's deep cut quotes. Like she will come out of total left field. What was the other one
It
that
was
I really loved?
yeah, because we were playing and it was like mindless hordes that were playing on Helldivers. And so it's just like wave after wave of men. And Brandon was like, there's so many waves of men. And I go, can't fight those big waves, cuz.
Yeah.
And he was like, he laughed. He's like, is that Surf's Up? Such a deep cut. That was
Oh
very
man.
fun.
Anyway, he is this really weird artist because he started out in metal, but like apparently missed an audition because of his guitar was broken or something or whatever, and missed what he felt like was this great opportunity, and then went a different direction a little bit. So he's got like he does his own stuff, and there's like hip hop and trap beats in it, but he still has his metal influence, and he has an album called Dragonborn.
This does sound like my
and and it so all
Does he
that
play a lot
metal
of
and
Dragon
trap
Age?
and stuff
Or
is part of it, but it feels like it's his reimagining of like tavern songs or whatever. It's got like
Funny.
harpsichord and stuff in it. It's a fun album.
I'll definitely have to listen to it.
So yeah.
Okay, are we ready for the episode today?
What? Am I the only person with a check-in?
You're the only one that matters. You're the only one people want to hear from.
Yeah. You're the star of the show.
I think I turned your week check into some of my week check.
Well, we did talk about
Helldivers.
yeah.
So Josh, do you
Hey, I hurt my ankle. It's a great week. Here's the funny part. This is actually a hilarious injury. So because Michaela and I on Sunday night, the boys are all in baseball, and I don't love baseball. I played it, and the end of it, I kind of left jaded because of it.
it's
So
canonically the most boring of the
I
sport.
don't have fond memories of
The
baseball.
most boring of a sport. I mean, there's some pretty boring sports.
Maybe golf, but is golf even a sport? I'll have to cut this or Dad'll.
I stand by that. Don't cut this, Dad. Golf sucks.
Golf does suck. I guess I would rather watch baseball than golf. Continue.
Anyway, so she was like, "Hey, you're not engaging with our kids, and they would like their dad to do baseball with them and stuff." And I was like, "Okay, fine." And so the very next day, I was like, "Hey guys, let's go out to the field and play baseball together." So we went out, and one of Dash's friends met us, and we, just like threw some balls around and hit them and practice grounders and pop flies and stuff for like maybe 45 minutes, hour tops. And then I was like hitting them and they were fielding. So I hit one and I was like, I'm going to run the bases. And I started to run around. And as I rounded we were just kind of in a field. It wasn't like an actual baseball diamond. So as I rounded where first base would have come, there was a big hole in the ground that I didn't see. And I immediately just like, I fell down, I twisted my ankle so that I heard a pop, and it was so painful. And I just crumpled. And that was right when Tucker's mom walks up, who already has made fun of me for like not teaching my kids how to throw a football or anything. So she arrives at the moment that I just fall down in a crumpled heap, writhing in pain. And she's just like, "Oh, that doesn't look good." I'm like, "It's not." And then so I was like, "Baseball's over, guys." So I took the kids home. Kelly took me
Turned into Homestar Runner.
yeah. Kelly took me to the urgent care, and they x-rayed it, and they were like, "No breaks, so you're okay. But you need to stay off it for a couple days, and then you need to wear this brace for a couple weeks and really take it easy for a while."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "All right, fine." So I've been in this brace. So the next morning, Michaela had to run to the school for some stuff, and Fern had been sick. So I was sitting in my office on a little couch, and Fern was sitting next to me, and I just had my leg up, and I was not supposed to move anywhere. And then Fern just threw up all over me and herself and the couch and the blanket. And the boys, it was right before the bus was going to come, so the boys were there. So I was like, boys, drag this pukey couch out front. It's like a fold-up couch, right? Like a little saucer couch. So they dragged it out the front door and left it on the porch for me, and they went to school. So I took Fern up and washed both of us off. And then Michaela's mom arrived to watch Fern, because that was the plan. But then I had to like hobble outside, like on one leg, like a pirate basically, and hose down all of our clothes and stuff to get all the vomit off. It was a real fun couple of days.
Yeah.
So,
What an exciting week.
yeah.
What an elaborate plan to punish your wife for telling you you didn't engage enough.
I did tell her, I was like, you're going to think I did this on purpose.
Not engaging enough. I'll show her.
Yeah. This is what happens when I play sports with my children. Is this what you want?
Oh man, that's so great.
Anyway,
Okay, so today the recipe is a little different because usually I write stuff out and I have all the factoids and the numbers and the dates and all that, and I didn't do that at all this time. This time I have a PowerPoint presentation and it's just going off the cuff. It's just pictures, except for a few times there's like names and stuff written. But it's just pictures, and I'm just telling you guys. So we're doing Biz Cash Fry on this one.
that's another whole Star Runner math.
Another whole Star Runner cut or quote. So, have you guys heard of the Millennium Star Diamond?
Is that what Han Solo had to get from Coruscant?
No, he didn't do anything with diamonds. He was the diamond, sir. So no, you haven't.
Nope.
This
No.
is so great. We're going to talk about, I'm calling this Ocean 7 because there are 7 guys, and it's the heist of the Millennium Star Diamond. A diamond heist.
Excellent.
Wow.
So, in the year 2000, the humans
distant
are
future.
in the year 2000, they built this is in London.
Mhm.
They built the Millennium Dome in Greenwich, London, to celebrate
I believe it is pronounced Greenwich.
Greenwich, London.
I think Greenwich is right.
I think probably.
Listen,
Based on Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
we should call it Greenwich, though.
Yeah, that's
Don't give in.
Give the British what they want.
Yeah.
Take that and your tea. Greenwich, London.
Greenwich, London.
And it was meant to be this big, huge exhibit to celebrate the millennium, the turn of the millennium. Hence, this was built in the year 2000. So, it was supposed to be this big, like, complex that had 14 different zones you could go visit.
Like Zootopia.
Like
It's
Zootopia.
really big. It's like the size of a soccer stadium or something, right?
It's huge. And this is like a big, like, canvasy style dome. Would you like to tell us, because this is one of the few things I wrote down, one of you read the zones that it had?
Yeah. There's the body zone,
The mind zone.
the faith zone,
The self-portrait zone.
work zone,
Learning zone.
the rest zone,
Play zone.
talk zone,
Money zone.
journey zone,
Shared ground zone.
living island zone.
And the home plant.
There's a whole zone to home plants.
It might be plant. I might have spelled it wrong. It's home plant or home planet.
I think it's home plant.
All right.
So 14 zones that you could go to. And people describe them like you walk into the body zone and it's like these huge organs, just like a beating heart, like all up in your face.
Oh, I thought the body zone would be like a rave, like in a Matrix movie.
Nope. Not cool like that at all. People might have liked that. Here, they didn't super like it. In fact, it turned out to be a tremendous flop. It was like in sitcoms, they'd be like making fun of the Millennium Dome because it wasn't great. People didn't really enjoy it. But
It's so funny when I feel bad for the people that designed this, who were like, people are gonna love these zones, man. People can't get to have a friggin' zones. And they made all these zones and they were so excited. And then somebody came and they were like, these zones suck.
Literally everyone came and said these songs suck. They're just like not into it. But the money zone had some of the most beautiful, rarest diamonds. There was a wall that had like 11 these are like big diamonds there, but the real big one that people cared about was the Millennium Star Diamond. It
Isn't
was
that what that lady threw into the ocean
no, that
at
was
the end of Titanic?
that was some heart something.
The Millennium Heart Diamond.
Yeah, that's
Different Millennium
yeah,
Diamond.
different Millennium. Um, so the Millennium Star Diamond was one of the largest raw diamonds that they had ever found.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's
Brandon and
approximately 3 million pounds. That's heavy.
Yeah.
Brandon and I can see a picture of it. Let us see if we can guess how many carats it was from the picture. I'm gonna guess.
It's the real guess. How many carats was it before they cut it?
Oh, interesting.
No, they made it.
The raw diamond.
When they were raw dogging it, how?
Okay. A diamond is called raw before you find it.
I
They
believe
should
it's
have
in
taught
the
me
rough.
The rough.
How many carats was it in the rough?
Oh yeah.
Sure. Look, obviously I'm not a diamond. Guess away.
I'm basing that on Aladdin.
Yeah.
He was a diamond.
I understood that reference.
Okay.
307 carats.
Okay, what's your guess?
401.
It was rough. 777 carats.
I'm the
Wow.
closest without going over.
Yes, that's true. You get to keep
You
the
win.
Millennium Star Diamond. That's what I have.
Hold on. It was 700 carats and they took away 500 carats?
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't. It actually.
They should've-
Kelly's thing showed that it was 203 carats, so I
Yeah.
was trying to make a joke.
Mhm.
We were gonna be like, "Wow, we're so good at guessing."
Yeah.
Well,
And
did
then
they
I
save the leftovers?
They just threw it away. They're like, "These 500 carats are useless."
get them out of here. Yeah, it's still one of the biggest diamonds, cut diamonds.
Nuts.
So do one of you guys want to describe what the diamond looks like? Clearly you guys know diamond shape.
I mean, just imagine a star, and it doesn't look like that.
I was gonna say, it looks like a teardrop. So,
Yeah.
but it's big and shiny, and it's made of diamond.
Like, probably a golf ball would fit inside the tear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very large diamond, and it looks like a teardrop, not a star. Why even call it a star?
Yeah, the Millennium Star Diamond, or is maybe cooler sounding than the
The-
Millennium Tear Diamond.
Yeah.
I feel like the Millennium Tear Diamond.
Tear Diamond.
Diamond sounds good. So anyways, and the weight was not actually 300 pounds, but it was worth 300 million pounds of dinero.
Pounds sterling.
It was worth 300 million pounds of dollars.
Stop.
That would actually be
money.
worth a lot more
Money.
than 300 million pounds.
Of money, that would
Yeah.
be.
Is that dollars or money? De Niro.
De Niro.
Robert De Niro. Dinero is
A little bit of gin, a little bit of Fazmihi.
Is Nero mean anything on its own?
I don't know.
The
They ever called it
Niro
money
So in French,
because they call like the other money is pesos.
yeah, in French you would say d'argent, right? But that for like money, like it costs whatever.
Like cash.
Yeah, but that literally translates to silver. Like, how much silver does this cost?
Really?
Because gold is oro.
That's funny.
in
So wait, what are French dollars called?
Aren't they?
Well, so they
They're
used to be the
euros.
francs.
Used to be francs.
Used to be francs.
Yeah.
They would just say how much silver does
Yeah.
it cost. They'd be like, it's 7 francs, you idiot.
Well,
It
you
doesn't
would
cost
say
any
that.
silver.
You would say 5. Yeah, like 5
You could
francs.
say,
You could say 5
silver
francs, but
Gorillas.
d'argent was just like money, I
like
guess.
bucks?
Yeah,
Like bucks?
yeah, something like that.
That's how
Or
I
just
would think
like
of.
money in total.
I would think of
But
dinero as well.
yeah, so like when you hear the phrase, you process it as just like, this is money.
Yeah.
How much money does it cost or whatever?
Yeah.
But literally it's silver. So like it's funny
Yeah.
to
it breaks
translate
down to something.
some of
silver
these languages
It's plata, isn't it?
like literally. I don't know what
Plata.
plata. Oh, yeah.
Is that silver in Spanish?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Spanish. Prata.
Oh yeah, so it's got to be plata in Spanish.
But like Monsieur, Madame, there's like my lord and my lady.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
You know, like when you translate them,
Yeah.
like how much silver for this, my lady? It's like
For this PlayStation.
Fancy.
So yes, there we go. So they get this diamond and they're like, it's amazing. And do you know who else thought it was amazing? People that wanted to
Robbers.
steal it. And
Makes
there was
sense.
one guy in particular, and he was like, we got to steal this diamond. Our last couple jobs, we're going to have to make up for the fact that our last 2 heists didn't work. So I'm going to put together a crack team of heisters.
I thought you were going to say that it was one of the organizers of the zones.
Oh, no.
Was one of the heist people. He was like, listen, we're going to make all these heists. We're going to make these zones. And they'll be like stupid zones, but there'll be one called the money zone. And we're going to put all the best diamonds in it. And everyone's like, why? He's like, just trust me. This diamond
This will
zone's
be
going to
great.
be great. And then he runs off with the diamonds. And he's like, ah, suckers. All these zones suck except the diamond zone.
What's funny is like everybody was like, all the zones suck, but these diamonds are pretty cool. So cue the team or the first half of the team. There's another slide. So Raymond or Ray Betson, he was the mastermind and the recruiter. And he was like, we're gonna steal these diamonds.
He's our ocean.
He's our
of
ocean
7.
of the 7, yeah. And then there was William Bill Cockram, and he was also a co-mastermind, and he provided the safe house, and he could handle business if things got rough.
Looks like it. He's got a
Yeah.
big old black eye
Yeah.
in his shot.
He's like ready to go. And then there was Lee Wenham, who was a co-mastermind and the planner.
Wouldn't the
pose.
mastermind be the planner?
No. The mastermind was this like big aggressive guy that was like had all the clout. So like when he was in the room, everyone was like, you don't mess with old Ray. And everyone else is like, okay. But these guys also were kind of in charge. Also, I couldn't find a good like mugshot or like earlier shot of him because turns out as I was doing all my research and I was like watching documentaries and stuff, Netflix has a documentary about this. It's like 3 episodes long, and he's who they talk to in the documentary, Lee Wenham.
Okay.
And so all his photos are now the like very nicely produced ones from Netflix. But he has like a tattoo on his hand.
It kind of seems like he was the real mastermind, if I'm being honest.
It feels like that. And I don't dispute that. He's also the one that like did pretty much all the talking in the Netflix documentary, but around like doing all of the research and that kind of stuff, it seemed like everybody sort of deferred to Ray. So he was sort of like not making a lot of decisions other than like recruiting people. And he was also recruiting people, but he had the biggest clout, like the biggest reputation.
Do you think there's ever been somebody who was like, I need some money, I'm going to do a crime. And then as he was getting his crew together, he was like, you know what? I could just turn these guys in and get their reward. Like, instead of doing the crime. So he gets a crew together. So like you could have like a heist thing where he gets the crew together and then he just leads them to the police station. And he's like, guys, they're here.
Josh is like, I've got a really great idea for next podcast.
This would be a great show where every week he's like, the plan's coming together, and then he goes, you're all under arrest, sucker. That's the whole show, is every week he arrests a different group of criminals.
They'd have to actually do the crime though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But
This isn't Minority Report.
yeah. All right, so he has to do it with them.
Mm-hmm.
But he has immunity.
Then he like turns them in for immunity.
Yeah, during the crime, he can call his own crew in. They're like, what's this plan? What's this step 7B? It says call police. He's like, you just leave that one to me.
You leave that to old trusty John.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, that was a dumb digression. You know what?
So there's the 3 kind of co-leaders.
Co-masterminds.
And then obviously there's other needs. So they had to bring in the rest of the team. Robert Adams, aka Bob the Builder.
I feel like he's going to get a cease and desist from Nickelodeon or whatever.
He was the demolitions expert and safe cracker. There was Kevin Meredith, who was the getaway driver. There was Aldo Search. Giorgiati, and he was had to do with security. He was a young guy, so he did all the technical stuff and weapons.
I think that's exactly how they brought him in. They're like, "Hey, you're the technical stuff."
He's like, I don't.
All these old people guys.
Yeah. And then there was Terry Millman, and he was the experienced gangster.
You need any ganging? I'm your man.
And that's why they brought him along.
Sometimes I wish real life was like a heist movie. Like if I had some skill and people were always like, "Hey, man."
Oh man, wouldn't that be fun? Like if I could introduce my team that way.
Introduce my team.
Yeah.
That'd be
Like
great.
at work?
Yeah, at work.
Yeah, like, this is our bone lady.
That's fantastic. So yeah, that's the team of 7 that was assembled for this heist. So when you do a heist, first thing you got to do is surveillance. So at the dome, again, it was like mostly canvas on the outside, but in the like area where they had the money zone, they were like, okay, so we're going to Greenwich, which is not known for being a safe place in London at the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a lot of crime, or what do you mean not safe?
Yeah, there was like a lot of crime at the time, I guess. And they're like, let's go to this crime-ridden place and put the most expensive diamonds. So they wanted to make sure that it was safe. So first, bonk, they had a vault that was like so strong on all sides of the walls for this one that an armored car could run into it and it wouldn't break the walls. And then they had cameras all around the entire thing. And then in the center, they had a reinforced glass tube, which is where they put the Millennium Star Diamond. Everything had pressure plates on it, so things were pressure sensitive. And then they also, you could only access this room when the vault room door was open. And that only
makes
opened,
sense.
yes, it only opened during certain times of the day. Otherwise, the vault door was impregnable, so you couldn't get in. So the dome itself wasn't a solid structure, but the thing, the vault for the diamonds was the one solid thing.
Did they put a roof on it?
Yeah, there was also a roof.
For those not seeing the slideshow, it's a hexagon in the blueprints with no roof.
But in this one,
it's impregnable.
Yeah.
Except for from above.
Except for people with ladders.
But in this one, there's a roof you can see.
Very good.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks like a drop ceiling. So I was also like, I hope they thought of that.
Yeah,
They were like, armored cars aren't going to be coming from the ceiling. We don't need to worry about that.
It's outrageous.
Yeah.
It's an interesting metric there.
Yeah,
Like,
that's their only.
You know what? People crash into stuff all the time. Armored cars.
That's what we need to protect against.
So, Lee Wenham was the surveillance guy. So he was like, I'll just go take a look around. So he went one day with his daughter and like walked around and was like, surveillance is the like cops here are garbage. There's not a lot of cops. This room is the real challenge, but there's not a lot of security otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like, all right, cool. So he came back a few times to like record the thing, make sure he had everything set up.
And somebody got suspicious and he was like, I just can't get enough of these zones.
He's got to go see a few other zones every time. It's like, gosh dang it, got to get through this.
Other zone.
The body
They'll
zone.
notice me.
The happy plant zone.
The happy plant zone.
House plant.
And he like would take his daughter to it so that he would like blend in better. And so he was like, all right, how do we get through this whole, like, how do we get into the dome? How do we get up to the dome pretty fast? Like, we really kind of need to get in there. And then he noticed all around that there was a lot of construction going on and people in construction vests and that kind of stuff, which made me think of the Louvre heist.
Yeah.
Because they were like, how do we get in? We just act like we belong.
Yeah.
He almost came up with the same idea. Instead, stole a JCB digger, which is like a huge construction thing with a bucket at the end.
Okay, so it's a backhoe.
Sure.
For those who can't see the picture, it's a backhoe.
Or Google JCB digger. You guys have phones.
Don't do it while you're driving. So that way he was like, all right, so here's how we're gonna get in. We're just gonna pile up onto this.
I love that they're like, listen, we can't let any armored cars run into it. And he's like, what's not an armored car? I'll just get a big old tractor. That's not an armored car. It should work fine.
And then we'll just break in with the digger.
So he was like, there's lots of construction people around. They probably won't question somebody in a giant tractor driving through the middle of
through the dome.
the zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's a flaw in this plan.
These things have like a top speed of like 20 miles an hour.
So
good thing they got that getaway.
25.
Love, he shows up and he's like, what you got for me? Where we got Aston Martin, we got a little thing. And he's like, you got a tracker here. Why are you dealing with me with a tracker?
This accent is really working for you.
it's so good.
It's like straight from a Guy Ritchie movie, pulled from the headlines.
Yeah. So the other thing was this, they realized that this was going to get them into the dome, but it wasn't actually going to get through the reinforced wall.
Yeah.
Or through the vault door.
Wait,
so why do it?
This is just to get them in the dome?
Just to get into the dome.
The canvas dome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
so
they're driving from outside in that way, in like the back.
But they're trying to get in looking like they belong?
Yeah. I guess.
Okay.
I think 7 men on this thing is conspicuous.
A little bit. Don't worry, I'm gonna explain how they spread it a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, so the next concern though was getting into the vault door, because ideally they would be doing this like at night or something, which I was like, if you're gonna do it at night, why bother tractoring your way in? But whatever, I'm not the mastermind behind it. So they're like, okay, to get into the vault door, we need an inside man. So
Michael Waring.
Yeah, Michael Waring, who was a cop that was working at the dome for security, happened to be Ray, the main mastermind, his brother-in-law. And so he's like,
they're never gonna figure out the connection.
No. And so they went, and he was like, I got a deal for you. What is it? I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. And was like, look, what would you say if I told you I wasn't into small investments, if I was into armed robbery and things like that? And Michael was like, I guess I would believe that. And he was like, I'll give you $250,000 to give us like the inside information, or, things might happen to your family, which is his sister, by the way.
Yeah, he didn't like her though. You shouldn't have married my least favorite sister.
But really the main thing that they learned was the vault really was impregnable when it was like closed. There's no way that they were going to crack that safe, even though they had a safe cracker.
So they got an inside man to tell them it won't work. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks.
Maybe he just really didn't want to do the crime, and so he was like, I did all the research, guys. It's impossible. Let's just give me my $250,000 and we'll call it even.
So what they decided would be the best plan is to just go during operating hours when the vault was open. So they would bust in with the digger,
which, clarification, can go up to 31 miles an hour.
You looked it up?
Okay.
Well, the getaway driver is like, this is all I need, 31 miles an hour. We can get away from the bobbies.
So then that they kind of solved the vault problem, and then
he solved the vault thing. Was just go when it's open. If only all bank robbers knew this strategy.
Yeah, this is really, they're peeling back the veil of reality here.
Yeah.
So then they're like, okay, now we have to get past this like reinforced bulletproof glass thing that they've got.
And so they go to their inside guy and go, is there any time when they just take that off?
And he's like, no, sorry, you have to cancel the heist, guys.
Yeah.
But what they did discover was that this glass does have some weaknesses, which is if you hit it with a nail gun and then a sledgehammer, you can get into it.
Okay.
So
It's bulletproof, but not
Not nail
nail
and sludge.
driven proof.
yeah. And the team was like, "Is that possible?" And old Lee was like, "I'll show you." And they get it, and he just like does the nail gun in the glass and then breaks it with the sledgehammer. And they're like, "All right, heist back on."
So did they get other copies of the glass to practice on?
I think that it was like bulletproof glass or whatever, that because they've done other heists to make it work, to see that it works. Because this was like pretty commercial glass that was like touted as being some of the safest.
So they did a demo.
Yeah,
They made sure it would work.
they made sure it would, so they knew it would work.
Again, we find their defense is centered on one thing. They're like, listen, no bullets, okay? Nails are fine. Just like the vault, they were like, no armored cars, but a tractor is fine. Like they keep focusing on one thing.
One thing.
Like, we're gonna protect against this.
One type of robber won't get in.
But you can't protect against everything.
You
That's impossible.
Didn't think about someone who builds. Bob the Builder. He knew the nail weakness.
Yeah, he knows. And then came the getaway, because they weren't actually going to use the digger as the getaway.
What?
Phew.
I know. The problem was that it's on the Thames, so it's right on this peninsula, and traffic isn't great here because it's a peninsula, so it sort of like funnels in.
Boat
And they were like,
boat getaway.
so they had done 2 other heists previously where they had put like a big like cone nail at the end of a van and like backed it into trucks to open the truck and take all the money out.
Like a narwhal.
Like, yeah, like a narwhal, which they called it Gertie. Lame.
They named the van Gertie.
The Spike. Gertie.
The Spike.
Just the Spike.
They wrote on the Spike Gertie, and then when they did it a second time, they wrote Gertie 2 on it. To
Wait,
These guys.
they're labeling their implements of robbery.
Yeah. And for both heists, they got away by jumping onto a speedboat and getting away, and the cops never found them. And so they're like, you know what works? Speedboat getaway.
Speedboat getaway.
So the plan was to have the getaway driver.
But what if the getaway driver only knows cars? And they're like, we got this boat for you. I was going to do the accent,
Yeah.
but I can't.
That's the one
You
thing
got to do the accent.
We got a boat for you.
No,
get all
that's
this.
the wrong guy. That's the driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So.
I drive a blooming boat. I drive cars.
Hey.
What is this? There's an anchor. Cast the mainsail.
like on a pirate ship. They're like,
What?
nobody will notice this.
Yeah.
I wish that it had been a submarine.
That would have been even better. Would have been amazing.
Getaway submarine.
That is a cool.
But instead they had a speedboat. Bunk. Speedboat getaway.
Is this them?
That's them testing the speedboat.
They took pictures of themselves testing the speedboat.
Someone else did. So here's
One of them seen. So for those that can't see, there's a picture of 2 guys on a boat, and one of them is really having a good time. It seems like.
yeah,
The other one's
like
just-
it's a great idea.
Yeah, and he's just like, this is gonna be the funnest robbery yet.
So here's a breakdown. They're gonna ram the dome with the digger. They're gonna use smoke bombs to confuse the people because they don't want to harm people, and the cameras.
Okay.
So the smoke bombs to confuse people in the cameras. Then they're going to use the nail guns and the sledgehammer to break the glass.
Hold on. I love the idea that they're going to confuse people in the place where one of the zones is the diamond zone. They're going to throw smoke bombs and be like, they might be going for the body zone or whatever. And maybe they need a giant liver. Like,
Yeah.
It's not like, I understand confusing the people and making chaos, but the police should be like, let's all go to the diamonds.
Let's just go to there.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have their speedboat getaway ready at the dock. Then the speedboat is going to rendezvous with Terry, if you remember him, the experienced gangster.
Mm.
And his job is to have a van ready elsewhere, and then they're going to just so they meet at the second location, take the diamonds immediately and hand it off to a buyer because they already had a buyer set up to go.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, and Lee, the guy that's in the Netflix documentary, he wasn't there at the heist. He was at the hideout, like with maps, just waiting for a call to be like, we got it. So that's where he was.
That seems like the job to have.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do heist.
Right. But they were all of them deceived because you know who notices when people are surveilling things constantly?
The fuzz. I love it.
So the police were investigating 2 crimes that had used spikes on the backs of trucks and then they'd gotten away on speedboats. And they knew it was the same people because the spikes were labeled Gertie and Gertie too. And so the police were like, we think it's this Lee Wyndham guy. We think it's Lee. And so they were watching Lee, like surveilling him already because they thought that he had done these crimes. So they were like, you know what we should do? Watch the guy that's gone to the dome like 12 times with a camera and then like sits and rewatches his own footage on the camera with somebody else in one of the benches outside the dome. So then the police were like, we have a really great idea for this. Anti-Ocean 7. So they created their own crack team to counter the heist. So we have detectives.
Is that part of Ocean's 11? Is there a negative 11?
I don't know.
I don't think so, right?
Because there should be.
There should be, but there wasn't, I don't think.
It was the casino people, less
Security.
the police. Right?
Is the second one 2 different heists or something?
I don't think I've seen any but the first one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll have to. That's the next Arts and Crimes watches a movie.
Um,
Anyway, Anti-Ocean 7. So the police make their own heist gang.
Yeah. So there's Detective Superintendent John Shatford.
The mastermind.
Yeah, he's the mastermind. He led operations. He was the overall surveillance guy. There was Detective Chief Inspector John Swinfield, aka Swinny, they used to call him. So told. And he was in charge of suspect monitoring. And then they brought in the SO-19, which is like akin to SWAT, like a SWAT team, and the Flying Squad officers, which was just like this cool squad of officers. Altogether, there was 40 specialists from SO-19 and 60 armed flying squad members just in that group.
So it wasn't Anti-Ocean 7.
It was like Anti-Ocean's 100.
113.
Yeah. And then they also included the Kent police who assisted in tracking suspects. So they followed Lee to their hideout, to the robbers' hideout, and was like, well, we don't want to key them off because we want to catch them if they're going to steal the diamonds.
Right. This isn't Minority Report.
No, exactly.
Good callback.
So they acted like telephone people and maintenance workers, and they set up cameras all around.
They were heisting the heist.
Heisting the heisters. And they put cameras all around the safe house. And they had guys in like ghillie suits, like photographing. That's who photographed them in the speedboat.
Okay, that's where the speedboat came from. They were out there just having a good time. And the cops were just like, oh,
If you
okay.
look at the, where is it? Speedboat photo. You can see he's wearing gloves. And the cops were like, they were trying to keep handprints off of the boat. So even on their test runs, they were wearing gloves. So
Maybe he just had cold fingers.
maybe, except for they were like plastic gloves.
Did you ever see The Gentleman?
Yes.
And then they have, so Hugh Grant plays a journalist and he's like following these gangsters around. And then the big twist in the end, sorry, spoilers, is that the gangsters also had someone following him around. And he's like, and I'm better at it.
That's funny.
And this is exactly what happened. Yeah.
You're better at it. So they surveilled and they were like, why do they have a digger? And, and then they were like, they just showed up with a boat. And why do they have all these nail guns and sledgehammers? And why are they testing it on glass? They're like, oh. So they knew everything that was going on. So they were like compiling stuff and like figuring out, the hard part was they didn't know when it was going to happen. And the oceans, I called this Oceans Converge, and I was very proud of myself. Anyways, so the first attempt was they called it off because there was boat problems. And so they rescheduled. And then the second attempt, the Thames, the tide was too low and they didn't want to bottom out the boat. So they called it off.
If only we could predict what the tides would be like.
I know. They didn't have a tide guy. They should have hired a tide guy.
Oh, Johnny Ocean.
Yeah.
He listens to the waves. He can hear the spirit of the sea.
He's a literal pirate. But the third attempt was go time. But it also was for the cops. So they had prepped the SWAT and they figured out by tracking and surveilling when they were going to do it. And then they hid themselves among the crowd of people. So they had to still let people in. But they decided that the best time that the robbers could possibly try and heist the diamonds is when there was the least amount of people, but the vault was open. Because they too were like, this vault is impregnable unless it's open. So like they're probably going to do it like in the morning on this day.
This is really good advertising for the vault people.
Yeah.
They're like, it's so great that they don't even try.
They don't even try to get in.
And if you want to protect your stuff, just keep it closed. That's all you have to do. Close the door.
So they hid themselves among...
Bless you.
So they hid themselves among the crowds within the like, so they had like dome worker jackets on. And then they also had helicopters going around to watch the river for the riverboat, for their speedboat and all that kind of stuff.
Are there lots of helicopters, or were the robbers just like, wow, it's a real heavy helicopter day today? Weird.
I don't know, but it was never mentioned. So I'm not sure if they're just like, helicopters normally do this. So then it was go time. And one of the teams executed their plan perfectly. So
the secret third team, anti Ocean's 11.
So the cops have surveillance everywhere, hidden SWAT, hidden people in the thing, and the robbers are like, all right, it's go time. That was my best attempt and it wasn't good.
Do it again.
All right, it's go time.
That was better.
That was better,
yeah. So they get on the digger and they're like, they go, there's like parked by the outside gate for a little bit, and the cops are like, are they gonna go in? And then all of a sudden he goes, and they go through the gate, and there's like, because the cops were not sure what the digger was for because they couldn't fathom.
Yeah. Why do they have something that can dig?
Like, why the
They're
digger?
gonna dig them way out. What are they doing?
And so there was like a surveillance cop, like two people like heard this noise, and they like looked out through the like little canvas window thing, and this digger is just like, like they're like, ah, and they took off running, and the digger just goes through, and then they throw out the smoke bombs, and they're like, all right, here we go, and then all like 100 and whatever guys just swarm. They're like, "Ah, da, da, da," and all the cops come in and they immediately take the guys down after they allow them to break the glass to grab the diamond, because this isn't
it's not minority report.
So they have the smoke bombs out. The nail gun works. They nail gun the glass. They get they get into the diamond, and then the cops come and take them all down and arrest everybody. They get the speedboat driver. They get the second driver. The last one standing is Lee at the warehouse, and he's just like waiting for a call until a bunch of cops just bust in and also arrest him. So that's the glass after they broke into it. And so the glass, there's just like a hole like large enough for a hand to reach in, at diamond level. But yeah, the cops executed it perfectly. It was like one of the few times where the cops were like, did a bang up job.
Just casually
Yeah.
shaming the police.
Catching strays over
This
here.
is one time.
I know that I guess I've listened to a lot of podcasts where I'm like, nice job, cops. You let the serial killer out again. Like there's multiple times where serial killers, literal serial killers, were like, how's it going, cops? They're like, we're just having a real hard time catching this guy. He's like, darn, you want a donut? They're like, yeah, we love this guy. He is so trustworthy. And he was the serial killer.
Maybe it was because Gertie 1 and Gertie 2 both worked, and you were like, how could they not have caught these guys before they...
So yeah, they got in, they got the guys arrested. It was really great. And the robbers were like, ah, it was so close. We had the diamonds in our hand, but there was a secret third ocean.
It was a fake diamond.
The diamonds were all fake. The people that ran the dome they were working with the police, and they were like, this seems like a stupid risk. So they just created all the diamonds in a fake and put them all in there. And the robbers did not know.
Were they fake the whole time, or just
For
like
2 months,
really?
they had replaced them with fake diamonds because they didn't know exactly when it was going to happen, and they weren't going to risk it. So for 2 full months, people were going and looking at fake diamonds.
I would want my money back if I were a person of London.
Yeah.
And I went all the way to see all those stupid zones, and I went to the one good zone, and it was all fake diamonds.
Fake diamonds. I guess they were like, everybody hates it here anyways. It's fine. So then there was the trial. And the trial had an interesting hitch that I didn't realize that the robbers tried to monopolize on, right? So the charge was robbery. And the cops were like, we caught him red-handed, so they're going to go down for it. But the robbers or thieves said that they were going to plead guilty to being thieves, not robbers, which there is a distinction. I didn't realize this, but thieves steal without the use of violence, while robbers use violence or the threat of violence in order to steal. So thieves or thievery has a lower sentence than robbery does. So the robbers all said that they were going to plead guilty to thievery because there were no guns used. They used smoke bombs, which are non-lethal, nail guns, sledgehammers, and a digger, which none of those things are weapons. And so
I mean, the digger could hurt somebody.
it could, except that they had an inside guy that was telling them when people were there and when it wasn't. That was the game plan, right? So their defense was, we had an inside guy, make sure nobody was hurt by the digger, and we didn't use any weapons. And for robbery, you get a sentence of like 15 to 25 years. But for thievery, it is 7 years. And so they probably, like a lawyer broke this down, and I thought it was so interesting. So they probably wouldn't get the max sentence. So imagine 6 years. And then if they plead guilty, often it reduces the sentence by at least a third. And then additionally, they'd been in prison for about a year by the time the trial happened. So time served on top of that. So then additionally, they'd probably only be serving 1 more year and then they'd be out. And that was their game plan. But their guy on the inside wasn't actually their guy on the inside. So Ray threatened his brother-in-law, and his brother-in-law was like, cool. And then immediately told his superiors that he had been threatened and what happened, what was said. And he was unwilling to work with them. And Ray had come back later and was like, did you think about the 250,000? And the guy was like, yeah, I'm not going to do it. And he's like, well, I'm glad you didn't tell your superiors, because if you did, there'd be some harm. And he was like, we already did tell them. Like, he'd already reported to his superiors immediately. So when the trial happened, he testified on behalf of the prosecution, because the defense was like, we had this inside guy that was feeding us information, but the truth was he hadn't actually fed them any information. They just were like, we talked to him and that counts. And they thought that would be enough.
He gave them the valuable insight that they should go when the vault is open.
Yeah, Yeah, that the vault is only accessible when it's open.
That was really good info.
Yeah. So yeah, their defense completely fell apart because they couldn't like what's the word? They couldn't like convincingly say that they knew nobody would be around because their inside guy wasn't actually giving them information on when people were or weren't there.
They couldn't say that
Well, they
they
didn't know
thought
that.
that they knew.
Was it because they threatened to harm this one guy's family?
Yeah.
So they were like, we didn't harm anyone. And they're like, what about the one guy that you said you were going
You
to...
said you were going to harm, and he didn't give you information, so the digger could have hurt people.
I think that the police, Ocean, the other anti-Ocean,
Yeah.
their team that was successful, it's a lot less impressive that they figured it out when
He
the
literally
robbers told the cops what they were going to do.
I thought the same thing, but like they didn't communicate. Like the cops didn't.
It was a different team.
Yeah, like and now he's talking about like with the cops. So it was like, you know, and his superiors were like, "Thanks for telling us," and then that was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
What in the
No
world?
follow-up needed.
Can you imagine, like, the anti-Ocean's like, we got this guy, yeah. And they're like, yeah, we knew about that.
Yeah. We just didn't think it was a big deal. I mean, they were gonna go in with diggers.
Yeah. They're
yeah.
fake diamonds anyway. What do you care?
Yeah, so the trial ended and they were all found guilty except the getaway boat driver was acquitted. So he didn't actually have to serve any time.
Why was
Did
he
you do the
acquitted?
year?
Hmm?
Did
Yeah, he had to do the
the
year.
year end?
Yeah, so the year served.
Well-
And Terry didn't actually do any time because he died.
Oh,
He was the gangster.
He was
he totally got away scot-free.
yeah, he was the gangster, the experienced gangster.
He's like, this is an old gangster move. You never serve any time if you just die.
He just
Why
died.
was the driver acquitted?
I'm not 100% sure, and I don't know if it was because he was only brought in towards the end to be the speedboat driver and he had really no idea about anything else other than he was driving.
They just wanted me to drive this boat.
Yeah. He's like, I didn't know there was a crime. I just thought they wanted a boat tour.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how he got off, but so Ray got the most because he was not only the most aggressive and the one that actually threatened his brother-in-law, but he also committed additional crimes like immediately after getting released, and so he ended up serving a bunch of time. He was a consistent jail guy. But Lee Wenham, who was the Netflix guy, he was who they were watching for those other two crimes. And so not only did they get him successfully for this crime, but they also were able to charge him for the other two crimes. And so he was sentenced to 9 years, or he was sentenced to 13 years total for both crimes, but he was really good in prison and didn't cause any problems and only served 4.5 years before he was out.
Oh, Lee.
Which is nuts.
He's not a bad guy.
Yeah, what a great guy. He actually, the truth is, and this is what he's saying on the documentary, so I believe him. He hasn't had any other arrests, but after he got out of jail, he was like, that diamond job was going to be my last job. And I was like, that's why he got caught. It's a goofy trope.
You said that.
Yeah. But also he has 2 daughters and he really wanted to like be there for them, and spending that time in jail, he was like, I can't risk being in jail again.
No.
And so he decided to pick up a construction business because he really liked diggers. And
they were like, what experience do you have? He's like, well, let me tell you.
So yeah, he has diggers of his own now and he doesn't commit crimes, but
Or he got way better at it.
yeah, or super good and he didn't get caught. But there we go. That is the diamond heist of the millennium.
That was a good one.
So yeah, I was watching these documentaries. I was like, this is amazing. I love this. What a fun story. Fun heist.
Yeah.
Also, in the Netflix documentary goes into way more stuff, way more in depth. But they do interview the guy that was in charge of security of the diamonds for the dome, And he was like, I paid so much money for that glass to not be breakable. And they broke it immediately. He was so mad about it. It was really funny.
That is really funny. Well, what have we learned?
That Josh has a really good London accent.
Yeah, it is
And
uncanny. I've watched enough Guy Ritchie to know.
Yeah. You know what's really funny also is in the Netflix documentary, the diamond guy, the one that was like, my glass was expensive. He was like, watching this unfold was like watching a Guy Ritchie film. It was very funny. It's so funny to me also because they were like interviewing the cops, and the cops were like the planning, the audacity, the intricacy within this plan was so just amazing. I was like, amazing, piling on a digger. I wasn't amazed, but I guess that's just me.
Well, the cops didn't, like, up until the moment,
Yeah,
the cops didn't even know what it was for.
that's
right?
true.
So it got the element of surprise. They nailed that.
True. That's very true.
you don't use a digger for ramming.
Yeah.
You use it for digging.
I feel like it would have gone much easier if they just walked in like the Louvre heist guys and just like walked in with construction stuff, roped off the thing and said, hey, we're doing some maintenance, nail gun, grab the diamond, walk out, right?
Leave.
Like you wouldn't even have to, like, I mean, I imagine some cops would walk by and be like, hey, what's this closed down? They'd be like, we're doing this zone, needs some zone work.
We're rezoning the zone.
Bring out that accent we love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be so great if the Louvre heist people like watch this and they're like, we can learn from this.
Yeah, now we know what not to do.
Don't bring a digger.
Okay, they had a big like a conspiracy wall and they had a big picture of a digger on it, and then they do some research and one of them shamefully pulls it down.
Not
He
the
was so
digger.
excited.
Oh man. I like they haven't caught the Louvre people.
What?
Yeah.
They haven't?
No. Not that I've
Oh, I
heard.
thought they did.
Did they?
I don't know. Let's find out.
The Sneaky Louvre people recently? Yeah, I thought they only got away for a few months or something.
Hold on. We're gonna do I always use AI and it always disappointed.
They did.
Yeah, it seems French police have arrested quite a few people in connection with the jewel heist. Some of the suspected robbers are in custody, and they even found a DNA match that linked one person to a getaway scooter. They haven't found the
A scooter? This is your house.
I love a getaway scooter too.
What's crazy to me is that the heist was well publicized, but I feel like the arrests were not. So,
That's the boring part. Everybody wants the like romantic, like, and they got away with it. The audacity, the grit, you know, and then they're picturing George Clooney, right?
Yeah.
And then when you see it's like an old man in his mugshot and like a literal child, and they're like, oh, never mind, this wasn't fun.
Well, guess what, guys? They caught these guys and they caught the Louvre guys.
Yeah, crime doesn't pay.
Doesn't pay, as it turns out. Oh no. Were you like, they haven't caught the scooter guy yet?
Scooter guy got away clean.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for the next Fast and Furious movie when they've got the scooter heist.
Too skewed.
And they like
too furious.
Yeah. And they've got to soup up the scooters. They're like, I crank this baby up. 39 miles per hour.
A scoot for my family.
Yeah.
I
don't got friends.
I got scooters. Well, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for breaking my cow lamp. I think I've said that a few times.
Yeah.
Thanks for Kevin. Thanks for Kevin's great.
All right. Bye.
See ya.
Don't do crimes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't do crimes because we've learned it doesn't pay.
Yeah.
And maybe be better at cutting diamonds because I just felt like 777 carats down to 203.
Yeah, they lost.
Maybe there was a lot of
Baby
bad diamonds.
imperfections, like out in that jazz. Probably.
I don't believe it. Anyway,
don't name your Spike Gertie 3.
Yeah.
The cop.
This will be a real like throw off the police though. If somebody else does it and they write Gertie 3 and the police show up at that guy's house and he's like, it wasn't me. We suck.
Diggers.
Says Gertie 3 on it.
Alrighty. Bye.
Bye.
This is high quality B-roll.
Yeah.